Hey, what's up everyone? I've been wanting to share this for a while now. This is regarding the blue and red Kachina prophecy. This is the Hopi prophecy. The Native American Indians had this prophecy, particularly the Hopi tribe, of the blue and red Kachina. And there were several things that really caught my attention regarding its relation to the Mandela effect. This ME phenomenon has several factors that seem to tie in with this Hopi prophecy. Now I'm going to read some of the things in a moment. There are several videos about it. You can see Red Crow here, who is a Native American Indian elder. He who died several years ago. He passed away from this world. Let's see. I believe his children and grandchildren still do videos and conferences, and they talk and share their ancestry and history. So it's good to keep their true history going, their spiritual history. Now there are several things that remind me of the times in which we live. Now, it could be relating to the final Antichrist. It could be a false prophet and Antichrist situation. But regardless, the key points of describing the times in which the times that are described, the way the world is at that time, and the way things are, the way it's described in this prophecy. I know it's not biblical prophecy, but much of it has come true and does seem to be happening. So that's what made me want to share this. So just look up the blue and red Kachina prophecy. You can see part of it right here. It's basically the alarm clock that tells us of the new day and the new way of life, that a new world is coming. This is where the changes will begin. I'm going to go ahead and continue reading. They will start as fires that burn within us, and we will burn up with desires and conflict if we do not remember the original teachings and return to the peaceful way of life. And this prophecy was written hundreds of years ago. Some say 500 years ago this prophecy was written. Wow, my ear's ringing. I'm getting a woo in my ear right now. Hold on, I'm going to pause the video. I had an ear ringing there. Maybe frequencies are taking place because I'm doing this video. Okay, not far behind the twins will come the Purifier, the red Kachina. That's kind of strange. The Kachina spelling seems to have changed. I remember K-A-C-H, not K-A-T-C-H. Maybe that's an M-E. The Kachina who will bring the day of purification. On this day, the earth, her creatures, and all life as we know it will change forever. There will be messengers that will precede this coming of the Purifier. They will leave messages to those on earth who remember the old ways. So it's saying those of us that remember the old ways, the old spiritual ways and spiritual teachings, those of us who remember it, these messages will come to them. These messages will be found written in the living stone through the sacred grains and even the waters. So basically saying these messages will be given to us everywhere. And then they stated crop circles have been found in ice and things like that. But from the Purifier will issue forth a great red light. And these are various frequencies and things that they are showing here. All things will change in their manner of being. Now think about that. That matches a lot of what we're going through. And there are multiple Bible verses about things that match our modern times. Every living thing will be offered the opportunity to change from the largest to the smallest thing, meaning the smallest microscopic particles to the largest imaginable thing. Those who return to the ways given to us in the original teachings and live a natural way of life will not be touched by the coming of the Purifier. They will survive and build the new world. Only in the ancient teachings will they have the ability to understand the messages. Those with the ability of the ancient teachings and those with the ability to understand these messages are the only way that they will be found. Only those with the ability to understand the messages will see it. It is important to understand that these messages will be found upon every living thing, even within our bodies. And this prophecy has been on the internet for a long time, many years. And they say it's been written by the Hopi Native American Indian tribe for around 500 years, according to documentation. But these messages will be found upon every living thing, even within our bodies. So all these changes that take place will even happen in our bodies, even within a drop of our blood, like the DNA, the deoxyribonucleic acid, with the adenine, thymine, guanine, and cytosine, those four basic building blocks that make up the double helix of the human DNA, our genomes, our building block, our genetic structure, our makeup of our genetic body, every little thing, even to the smallest cell, the ATGC that makes up the human cells, the human DNA. And, DNA, RNA, all of this stuff is just amazing. But all of that will even change, just like the organs in our body. All life forms will receive the messages from the twins, those that fly, the plants, even the rabbit. The appearance of the twins begins a period of 7 years. Now, many times in prophecy, especially biblical prophecy, 7 years. If you know the 7 year cycles of God's judgment, the 7-year Shemitah, which happens every 7 years when we are deemed worthy or not. Now that's in the Jewish, I think during like the Feast of Tabernacles, Feast of Ramanyah, and the Shemitah, they all fall. I'm not going to state 100%, but they go by the lunar calendar, so that's their holidays. And I think we went through one a few years ago, and one is coming up in a few years from now, and then there's another one around 2030, I guess. I'll have to look it up and tell you more, but that's the time when things are, that's where the 7 years are important, because God works in sevens. Our Creator, our Source, or as the Native American Indians call him, Grandfather, works in sevens many times. The appearance of the twins begin a period of 7 years will be our final opportunity to change our ways. Reminds you a lot of the 7-year tribulation period. Everything we experience is all a matter of choice. This is very interesting. And when it gets into switching bodies and switching universes, that's when it really gets into the whole quantum shift, reality shifts, Mandela effect phenomenon. Now here is one that relates to a lot of what we see today. Many will appear to have lost their souls in these final days. So intense will the nature of the changes be that those who are weak in spiritual awareness will go insane. For we are nothing without spirit. So they're telling us that the people who aren't able to grasp and comprehend these things will go insane. Those who have lost their souls in these final days. These changes, our world will be changing. These changes will be taking place, but those who are weak in spiritual awareness will go insane, for we are nothing without spirit. And many of these things happening would seem to drive some crazy. It says they will disappear, for they are just hollow vessels for anything to use, and they will disappear. Life will be so bad in the cities that many will choose to leave this plane. Some in whole groups. If you remember I don't know if it was the Apache or one of the tribes disappeared. They drew giants. One of the last things they drew on their walls were giants and a portal. And the entire tribe after they built these beautiful cities and interstates they were working on at the time. Roads of massive proportions, buildings, cities, and the city on the wall. And they said the last thing they drew was a portal and some giants, and they went through, and they were never seen again. They just up and left. They said, why would an entire group of people choose to leave? And the last thing they drew was that. This is one of them, the Anasazi. The Anasazi tribe vanished. They totally disappeared, and no one has still really has one answer as to what happened. Some say they were taken, and some say they went through a portal. So back to this video. Some will disappear in whole groups. Only those who return to the values of the old ways will be able to find peace of mind. For in the earth we shall find relief from the madness that will be all around us. It will be a very hard time for women with children, for they will be shunned, and many of the children in these times will be unnatural. Now, I'm not doing false prophecy or anything like that. I know it's not biblical prophecy, but I just thought it was interesting. I'm stating how it's very interesting how it matches the times in which we live. Some beings from the stars, some from past worlds, some will even be created, some being from the stars, and some being from past worlds, some will even be created by man in an unnatural manner and will be soulless. Now think about that, written so long ago, so many hundreds of years ago, talking about the star seeds, the star souls, and people being from the stars, people being from past worlds, some even being created by man like we see now in an unnatural manner. These will be soulless. Many of people in this time will be empty in spirit. They will have sampaku. Sampaku means no life force in their eyes. No life force in their eyes. It goes on to state, as we get close to the time of the arrival of the Purifier, there will be those who walk as ghosts through the cities, through canyons. They will have constructed in their man-made mountains. Those that walk through these places will be very heavy in their walk. It will appear almost painful as they take each step, for they will be disconnected from their spirit and the earth. After the arrival of the twins, it states they will begin to vanish before your eyes like so much smoke. Others will have great deformities, both in the mind and upon their bodies. There will be those who would walk in the body that are not from this reality. Think about that. That's what we're experiencing today. There will be those who would walk in the body that are not from this reality. For many of the gateways that once protected us will be opened, like what CERN is doing, and other facilities, other groups, portals. It says people will not be in the right realities. Deformities will take place on the body. They will walk in the body that those who are not from this reality, for many of the gateways that once protected us will be opened. There will be so much confusion between sexes and children and their elders. We see that happening today so much. This chaos and confusion from the young people to their elders, to they don't respect their elders. It's awful, but the thing is, this confusion of the sexes, people just so confused about what they are, and you would think that would be, it's just, you've got this crazy world we're living in, a crazy reality. Some people saying they're not from here, they're not in the right body. It's stated in the old prophecy, they stated that people would be in the wrong bodies, a male and a female body, or a female and a male body, and so on and so forth. The people in the wrong worlds, people in the wrong universe. Life will get very perverted, and there will be little social order in these times. Still, others will appear as if they're untouched by what is occurring. Others appear untouched by it. the ones who remember the original teachings and have connected their hearts and spirit. Reconnected their hearts and spirit. So it's saying others will be in social chaos. Basically, it sounds like others will be out there and they'll be very perverted and crazy, and there'll be little social order. These people will be, in these times, they'll be crazy, while others, like us, appear untouched by what's occurring. We don't understand, like, why are they acting this way? Those of us that remember the original teachings, and it's come back to us, this spiritual connection, and they've reconnected their hearts and spirit. Many things like this are also in the Bible. But those who remember who their mother and father is, the Pahana who have left to live in the mountains and forest. That's what the natives state. When the Purifier comes, we will see first as a small red star, which will come very close and sit in our heavens watching us. That reminds me of that red star we've been seeing lately that no one's ever seen before, watching us to see how well we have remembered the sacred teachings. I wonder if that's that star we've been seeing. It goes on to state, this purifier will show us many miraculous signs in our heavens. Now, that kind of reminds me, that feels like, I don't know, that might be the final Antichrist there. That's just a thought, but showing many miraculous signs in our heavens, that sounds like it. In this way, we will know Creator is not a dream. Even those who do not feel they're connected to the Spirit, they will see the face of the Creator across the sky. Things unseen will be felt strongly. And this was written hundreds of years ago. Many things will begin to occur that will not make sense, for reality will be shifting back and forth. Reality will be shifting back in and out of the dream state. There will be many doorways to the lower world that will open at this time. Things long forgotten will come back to remind us of our past creations. All living things will want to be present for this day when time ends and we enter the forever cycle of the fifth world. Then it goes on to state in this part that we will receive many warnings, allowing us to change our ways from below the earth as well as above. Then one morning, in a moment, we will awaken to the red dawn. The sky will be the color of blood. Many things will then begin to happen that right now we are not sure of their exact nature. For much of reality will not be as it is now. When this was written, they're saying at this time, much of reality will not even be the same as it was hundreds of years ago when this was written. There will be many strange beasts upon the earth in those days, like these strange beings we're seeing, and these strange animals no one's ever heard of, or these strange creatures and beings we're seeing that I've witnessed. There will be many strange beasts upon the earth in those days, some from the past, and some that we have never seen. The nature of mankind will appear strange in these times that we walk between worlds. We will house many spirits even within our bodies. After a time, we will again walk with our brothers from the stars and rebuild the earth, but not until the Purifier has left his mark upon the universe. Now, I just found this to be interesting that the parts that they're describing is what we see happening now, though. I just found this interesting to share. I'm not trying to be a false prophet at all. But no thing living will go untouched, here or in the heavens. The way through this time is said is to be found in our hearts and reuniting with our spiritual self, getting simple and returning to living with and upon the earth in harmony with her creatures. This is the Hopi prophecy, by the way. Remembering that we are caretakers of the fire keepers of the Spirit, The fire keepers of the Spirit, our relatives from the stars, are coming home to see how well we have fared in our journey. It has been said by many who have limited access to the prophecies in the past that the Hopi prophecies of the coming earth changes are among the most ancient and accurate available. Some of the most ancient and the most accurate, some of the most accurate available. So this was part of the Hopi prophecy here. So I thank that person for uploading this video. There are several more that you can check out. Just do a search. Just do a search for blue and red Kachina prophecy. And you can find some from many years ago, 10 years ago, Hopi Blue Star prophecy, several things. And it matches our times a lot. Being in the wrong realities, reality shifting, star seeds, star souls, the things we're going through, changes happening for many not being aware of it, people being in the wrong universe, the wrong worlds, the wrong bodies, because of the portals that they've opened up, and the portals that are opening up, and suddenly past and future and present and various creatures from this not our time are here. Things that people aren't aware of are here. And only those like us who are connected to the ancient spiritual knowledge will be able to handle this, or even be aware and know what's going on. And there'll be such social disorder and chaos that it states that people will be so just crazy, that we see like people going crazy politically, and people going crazy over the simplest things. People go completely crazy over differences in views and rioting and acting insane. While the rest of us are like, why are you acting this way? But maybe because this is happening, people are, we just see that happening. We see it happening, and this prophecy is very close, like biblical prophecy, to the times in which we live. So I had to share it, because people going so crazy over election results, going so insane over, it's like all this agenda and everything, and some people on one side of the spectrum, another side of the fence, whatever, and then fighting over this, while we're like, why are you fighting over this? Just, it happened. I mean, move along and get along, put out love and kindness, true love and kindness, and just the spiritual knowledge of the ancients, the ancient times. And I have felt something like this since I was a child, and I can remember feeling it and being connected to all of this. And only those of us with that connection and connectivity can see this. Now, I'm still a believer in the Holy Trinity. I'm a believer in Jesus Christ as forgiver and redeemer of sins, Lord and Savior. I also believe that many other prophecies depict our time very, very accurately. And I believe this prophecy depicts the ME phenomenon very, very closely, being in the wrong reality, and other realities merging, coming here because of, and all of the portals opening up. Non-human beings, non-natural humans, without a soul, being created in the wrong way, and all of these things happening. Realities merging and shifting, things changing. And there are various ways this prophecy has been translated, but most of them are very similar. So I thought this was interesting, and I've wanted to share this for a very long time, and I hope you got through the whole video. Thank you for watching. Biblical prophecy is very accurate to our times as well, and I believe we're living in those times. God bless, much love, and let's stay awake and stay aware. Peace. Bye.